Hey everybody, coming to you live with last look at the forecast before the snow actually gets underway. I'll probably be live again as things change, or if anything changes, and maybe certainly with some text updates tonight. But a few things have changed. Wanted to kind of talk about what's going on currently with our forecast. Wanted to start off by looking at how the storm has evolved. Here's what this one down here is what things actually look like this morning on the surface, as at least as analyzed by the model. Here's what things we're looking at. So this was this morning, this was overnight, this was last evening, and this is midday yesterday. And you can see they're very similar, except for some subtle differences we talked about in the ways that the interaction between the upper level low and tropical storm or hurricane Zeta interacted. It might be a little hard for you to see on the map, but basically Zeta has got stronger yesterday than we were anticipating it getting. Almost got to a Category 3 strength before it made landfall. Definitely somewhat of a surprise how quickly it developed yesterday in the Gulf. That's not unusual for tropical systems to be hard to predict. And so that has remained a little more distinct. But there's still plenty of, what the difference is, here is not much energy has transferred yet. And this piece that's left behind is actually going to spawn really a second storm. And let me show you how that makes the most sense here on radar. Let me just update this as we go. Maybe. I guess it's going to stay there where it is. So you can see here that here's all the moisture that's going to be getting in here associated with Zeta pretty soon. That's going to fall mostly in the form of rain, maybe some very high elevation snow, but we're just warm enough that this first batch will be rain. But this second batch has remained pretty distinct and has still a decent amount of moisture with it, and that will spawn a secondary storm, which looks like it will come a little further north than we were thinking yesterday. Give us a little more moisture, not much. When we get to the snowfall forecast, you'll see that we've just upped the predictions just a little bit, not much, but a little bit. On the mid-level, why is the snow going to happen? So what you can see here is you've got the blue to green line there is about where the snow line would probably be right now. Notice that's just and probably it would need to be, probably the snow line would be a little bit north of that. And you can see that kind of cuts right across northern Vermont, but you can see that there's some of the wind, these little like arrow things show kind of what direction the wind is coming through. And you see there's a slight northwest to southeast wind flow here at the mid levels and at the levels that matter for snow formation, and that is slowly bleeding its way down into southern Vermont. It's going to take a little while. So even though we are definitely going to start off as rain today, overnight we will definitely change over to snow. So I would anticipate rain most of the afternoon, and then changeover probably happens sometime around midnight. And then it snows through early to mid-morning tomorrow. I think we'll be done with snow by 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. And it's going to be slushy and heavy and wet like it normally would be with these kinds of accumulations. The accumulation map is still definitely not locked in because there's a lot of small factors that can make a big difference here. What's changed a little bit? Instead, I was looking at more like 2 to 4 inches across the Green Mountains, whereas today we're looking at 3 to 5, and I think down in kind of the sweet spot, Route 9, heading across from Bennington to Brattleboro, I think we'll see 6+ inches potentially at the higher spots there. Also, some of these spots, the real high mountain tops, top of Stratton, top of Mount Snow, top of Bromley, all those places we'll probably see 6+ inches of snow right at the summits. But if you're down at like base lodge level, you're in the 3 to 5 inch range. If you get below about 1,500 feet, you're more down in the 2 to 3 inch 1 to 2 inch range. The valleys will mostly see 1 to 2. Looks like south of us will actually get a little more into that second round of snow, and so that will give us a better chance at some snow across southern New England, of actually sticking to the ground with an inch or two. North of that, it's not so much that there's not going to be enough cold air, it's that there's not going to be enough precipitation once that air turns over to get colder. So just a coating to an inch kind of north of, say, Mount Holly, and in the Connecticut River Valley, and also as you head west, probably Manchester and Bennington, probably 1 inch to 1.5 inches, 2 inches of snow in those places. So that's kind of what we're looking at weather forecast wise. Certainly if you have questions, feel free to ask them either in the Facebook page or on the YouTube comments, and I'd be happy to answer those as the day goes on. I'll certainly keep you up to date, and I will have a first look for my patrons tonight at the weekend forecast. The weekend change, we definitely dry out over the weekend, which will be nice. We haven't really done that in the last few days, and we'll have an opportunity to get back to more fall-like weather, and actually we'll warm up next week. So that's what's going to happen over the next few days. Like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. I want to say a quick thank you to my patrons who help support what we do here, and we'll be back again soon tomorrow for everybody else. Patrons get look at the weekend forecast tonight, everybody else tomorrow night. Again, we'll see you soon.